Hi, my name is Rob Thomasson, and this is my insight and findings from the interview exercise in COM430. It was a lot of fun, so I'm excited to share what I learned and what I learned about one of my employees who's an aspiring leader. I want to start with sharing my personal leadership brand statement. And I recently completed a leadership program, and part of the exercise was arriving at your personal brand statement. And I think it's important to share because it'll provide some insight into how I approached the exercise. So my personal brand statement is, I'm a driven and empathetic leader that promotes happiness and success in others, period. So that's near and dear to me. So let me start, I guess, with an introduction of the exercise. Thank you, Professor, for allowing me to choose an employee versus maybe someone that I report to or a leader that I admire. And I wanted to do it for a number of reasons. I wanted to better understand the mindset of someone quite a bit younger than me that's an up-and-coming leader, and how I can best support her. As a result of that discovery, I also wanted to reflect on my own leadership. I'm a lifelong learner, and I wanted to see if there was opportunities for me to continue to develop, support her and others in a more beneficial way. And finally, I wanted to understand the qualities she admires in a leader and why, and how I can best match her with a mentor that doesn't just complement her style, but maybe introduces her to other elements of leadership that she can benefit from. So that's how we kind of approached it. So the questions and answers I wanted to share, I think are the most important ones to me, and certainly were the most important ones to her. The first one was, how would you describe your leadership style? And this is a question that most people fail miserably at, certainly in job interviews. And she paused a moment, but she answered that she is a compassionate and participative leader. And I really thought that was a great response. And she added that she leads with her heart, and she's not afraid to roll up her sleeves and stand kind of shoulder to shoulder with her employees to get the job done. So that was really great insight from her. Next, I wanted to know, what qualities do you see in high-performing leaders that you admire? And again, a little bit of a pause, but she said fairness. She said great communication and intelligence. And I asked her about fairness, and she said, just the ability to look at all aspects of a situation, look at all sides, and to arrive at a decision that's in the best interest of the organization and to the best of your ability, the best interest of all parties. The good communication or great communication is obvious, just someone that's confident and commanding in their speech, but delivers it in a way that engages people. The intelligence piece, I pressed her on a little bit. Certainly there's the academic portion. Certainly there's the business acumen. But what she most admired were leaders that had emotional intelligence. And then we certainly talked a little bit about that in the text. And she viewed emotional intelligence as not as being part of empathy and appreciating all aspects of the situation, taking the emotion out of it, and again, going back to making a decision that's in the best interest of the organization and all parties. So that was something she admired. Next, I asked I asked her to identify, a key characteristic of highly successful leaders that she admires. And we talked a little bit about the general characteristics, leaders that are inspirational, that are empathetic, and that are great communicators. But I told her that very successful leaders, the greatest ones, have what I refer to as a superpower. Others refer to as a superpower. It's something that they do that's very, very, very special. So I asked her what her superpower was, and she's a really humble person, which goes back to why I selected her. But she did answer and said that she really cares about her team and their success, and she thinks that comes through. And that was her final thought. But I added that she has. I defined her superpower as this: she's an excellent communicator. She absolutely leads with her heart, and then she's got an amazing personality. And why I think she's going to be a fantastic leader is she brings the communication portion. She brings her heart and how she delivers that message to her team, and through her personality, she engages people. People want to get behind her, and if she can develop the emotional intelligence and the business acumen, they're going to not only want to be behind her for all the emotional and human parts of why you would want to be behind someone, but they're going to start to trust her because she's making good decisions. So I really see that as her superpower. And finally, I asked her what qualities does she admire in me as a leader, and she kind of laughed and she said, "My stories." She likes how I share stories of my past, mistakes I've made, challenges I've faced, and I do so in a humble way. And I'm able to put people in the place that I had experienced, and have them understand my perspective and why I made the mistake and how I climbed out of it. And she appreciates that. And I think it was mentioned in the text, the benefit of successful leaders using stories to communicate and promote positive change. In summary, I'd really like to say again how much I enjoyed the exercise. I gained insight about the mindset of an aspiring leader, which I think is awesome. I gained insight about my role as her leader and how I can contribute to her continued development. Another awesome factor. And finally, I learned more about myself by connecting elements from the text and what we've learned, what she shared with me, and how I can apply leadership and really just admire and respect the role of leadership in the world. So thank you for the exercise, and I hope this has some value. Bye.